evening, Niner fans. How we doing? Happy Friday. It's been a long, busy week. And you know what? It's starting to smell like football. It's starting to feel like football is getting around the corner. Today, the rookies had their first day on the job. The 49ers rookies, along with many other rookies around the NFL, it was the first day of rookie minicamp. You know, some teams started early, but who cares about them? We are here to talk about the San Francisco 49ers, and today, they had rookie minicamp. We saw a lot of cool clips. I mean, obviously, we got to listen to a lot of other people break it down. If you've been following Niners Twitter, if you've been following, a bunch of content creators, they've been talking about what they saw, what they did, what, their impressions were. It's the first day of rookie minicamp. It's not like, oh my God, end all be all. Someone has a bad day at rookie minicamp. It's not like, oh my God, they're going to be terrible. But it's nice to know we're getting to the swing of things. We saw some cool content. We got a lot of interviews. They had their press conferences, and the 49ers signed some of those guys. So we'll talk about that. And more importantly, the 49ers defensive coordinator, Nick Sorenson, spoke with the media for the first time, and we kind of got to feel his vibe and see his vibe. And right off the bat, they asked him the question that we all wanted to know. Are you going to be on the sidelines? And my boy Nick Sorenson said, yeah, I'm going to be on the sideline. I'm sidelined, Nick. I got to love it. Nick Sorenson, let's get to that news first before we get into, the rookies and what do we think and blah, blah, blah. So Nick Sorenson, I want to pull up exactly what he said. He says that he will call plays from the field on game day. He says, I like to look the players in the eyes on the field. That was kind of a bar. So I was like, okay, you like to see how the players are. You want to interact with the players. I like that. I like what he said. He goes, I'm calling plays on the field. He got it right out of the way. Because remember last year there was controversy. Oh, well, Steve Wilkes, he don't know nothing about that. He don't know nothing about that. He calls plays in the booth. And then they said they were calling for his neck. Get your ass on the sideline. And we came up with sideline Steve. But now Nick Sorenson from day one will be on the field. So I thought that was kind of cool. We're going to play a couple clips from Nick Sorenson's interview, and you guys tell me what you think. But I thought that was pretty much a really cool thing to just get it out. Like, hey, because people were kind of like pressed about that whole situation last year. You got to be on the field. You don't get the vibe of the players if you're not on the field. So, hey, this is the guy that Kyle likes. He knows the system. My man 49ers First Take says, all I'm going to say is this is the guy that the players wanted. They better step up. They have no more excuses. And I was talking to someone earlier today. He did mention that Brandon Staley's helped him a lot, and, how he kind of is able to run things through Brandon Staley, because you got to remember, Nick Sorensen is a first-time defensive coordinator. So he has this guy kind of helping him along the way. I feel like Kyle's like, look, guys, you guys need to focus on the defense. Figure it out. I don't think Kyle wants to lose sleep on the defense and calling plays. And he has his defensive coordinator. They got to take care of business. And because Kyle has to focus on his offense. Because let's keep it a buck. Kyle's offense, when situation matters most, in the biggest situations, Kyle's offense has kind of crumbled a little bit. And no shot at him, but third quarter last year in the Super Bowl, it was kind of looking bleak, and there was a lot of moments throughout these last couple of years when the Niners offense needed to take a big step when it mattered most. They faltered. And Kyle knows he needs to step it up. Obviously, O-line's a big part of that. Quarterback's a big part of that. And he's found his quarterback. They've added some more weapons on offense. They added a running back, 2 wide receivers. They've added some weapons to this dynamic offense. One of the best, most explosive offenses in the league. Actually, the number one most explosive offense last year. And they added to that. But Kyle is saying, hey, look, I don't want to worry about the defense. Nick Sorensen, Brandon Staley, you guys take care of this and figure it out for me, because he has a lot of pressure. He is the offensive coordinator. He is the head coach. He doesn't want to worry about the defense, right? And I get it. It's a lot of stress being a head coach, a lot of stress being a 49ers head coach, a lot of stress being Kyle Shanahan, because he cannot win the big game, everybody said. Everybody trashes on Kyle. So I feel like this was big. I don't think so far, my first impression on Nick Sorensen was he wasn't trying to ruffle any feathers. He came in, said everything he had to say. He kept it politically correct. He didn't say any outlandish things. He stood on business and say, hey, look, I'm going to be on the sidelines. This is what you guys want. The players like me. I want to vibe with the players. I'm going to be helped by Brandon Staley. I respect him being the assistant DC. And that's what it was. It was just him giving his first, words and his initial presence to the team. He's not trying to sit there and be this like iron fist guy. I'm gonna be the man. I'm gonna be the best. I'm the greatest. He never has been a defense coordinator, so he's earning his stripes from the fans, from the coaches, from everybody, and he wants to prove that I'm here to get the job done. I understand the defense, so I felt like, again, I wasn't like blown away, like, oh my god, this guy has that aura. He has something special, but I feel like he's respected, and Kyle knows he understands the job. And I mean, I didn't hate the guy. I thought it was a good first introductory press conference, and I'm happy. At this point, if he's the guy and if Kyle trusts him, let's get it done. Let's get this Super Bowl. Let's roll, baby. If he's the guy, he's the guy. And if the 49ers win a Super Bowl and Nick Sorensen the DC and this defense goes wild, guess what? He's going to get a lot of hype. He's going to get a lot of credit, and eventually he'll become a head coach. And one thing he said is he wants to be that. He wants his defense to be swarming like D'Amico Ryans. He wants them to be tenacious. That D line has to kind of take the precedence, and so I liked what he was saying. I like what he was selling us. We'll see how it goes on the field. Of course, he's going to give us all this lip service, but we have to see how the results are on the field. But I kind of feel like he's going to come in and do the job right again. And he's got a guy like Brandon Staley who he really likes having there. I know a lot of us are still kind of on the fence with Brandon Staley, but I think that the team really likes Staley, coaches wise, Kyle Shanahan, Nick Sorensen, and everybody else. So it's going to be a duo running this defense. If one guy couldn't do it, well, maybe you have two guys that have different ideas and they can help each other on the field on Sundays. So that's the vibe I got. I'm going to play some videos of Nick Sorensen, and we can kind of sit back and dissect it a little bit.
People might be mad if the defense doesn't play great. They might love it when the defense doesn't plays tremendously. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said before, for me, we all know the standard here, and we all want to win. We all want to play great defense, and that's the expectation. But I have that on myself. Our coaches do. Our players do. What is said, I'm not really worried about it. I just know what we want to get done and what I want to get done. So regardless of what's said, good or bad, I just work and go the next day and work and then go the next day and then work and try and provide our players with the best information and, challenge them to be the best that they can be, and then everything will be just fine.
All right, so he's ready for the challenge. He's excited. What else did he say? There was another video clip I got. This is kind of like his overall presentation and what he's expecting. So I'm gonna play this clip.
Is everybody here at this point?
Yeah, the staff is great. And that's the one thing that's been really beneficial to me is knowing the guys and having the staff that I have right now that's also been here for a while. I'm already familiar with them. They know how we play. They understand our defense. They understand if we need to, change certain things, not so much as like shifting what we do, but just evolving like the league evolves as quick as it does in 1 year or 1 week or 2 weeks. And then also adding Brandon Staley. Which has been awesome for me. I mean, he has experience as a coordinator. He has experience as a head coach. So he sees things holistically. He knows how to build plans. And then just getting him in here and spending extra hours and just talking football with him. He's very bright. And it's really a humble guy who's smart and knows football. And that's been really awesome and helpful for me.
Playing his role, I mean, what will he be doing throughout the offseason when the season begins? Where does he sort of hang out?
Really just how I said it. It's more holistic. He's been kind of helping me overall. He's been involved with pretty much everything, as far as here, so we did this. I've been kind of talking him through how we play certain things, watching stuff throughout the league and what other teams do, some of the things that he did. Would this fit? Would it not fit in our defense? And some things I was already familiar with just watching different defenses. You naturally see other defenses do things. And he's been more connected with the DBs and the nickels, and but he also has experience elsewhere with DNs and outside linebackers. But with the staff that we have, I think for me it's going to just be really helpful that he's done it before and he's had success and he's been a head coach as well. So it's just, like I said, it's been great.
Yeah, so there you have it. That is your new 49ers defensive coordinator, Nick Sorensen. As people mentioned, sideline Sorensen. I like the sound of that. Again, good first impression. He didn't say anything crazy. He came in, stated what he's all about. He gave respect to the team, the players, and he said Brandon Staley's really a guy that's helped him along the way, well respected because he has been a coach and a defensive coordinator before. So we may not like Staley from what he's done with the Chargers, but they respect him. They understand he knows the game. He knows ball. Boy knows ball. So hey, if Sorensen likes him and if they're the duo that gets it done, it is what it is. Again, Kyle Shanahan needs to focus on the offense. Let these guys cook and focus on the defense. So again, good first impression, and we'll see how it goes. Again, it's all lip service right now until they get on the field. So, but anyways, how's everybody feeling Friday? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. Again, we're just going to talk about rookie minicamp. What we saw today, what we've heard out there today. We'll talk about a little bit of everything. Let me see. My man Red Eye says Grant Cohn said Parasol sucked today. Didn't catch a single pass, targeted 4 times. Yeah, I heard some things out there. It's first day. It's minicamp, rookie minicamp. I'm not too worried, but definitely Persol first day doesn't sound like it went overly great, but they're all just trying to learn their assignments, learn everything, and I'm sure they're jitters. But the guy I heard was really impressive was Renardo Green, who was covering him in man coverage. But I also heard that Renardo Green was very chippy and getting handsy, and that's the thing. Who knows how it's going to be during the regular season? And there's so much installments, and when the regular quarterbacks are in, Brock Purdy, they're playing with Tanner Mordecai. So I take those reports with a grain of salt, just like I take training camp and OTAs. And oh my God, Brock Purdy was 4 for 20. So I take those reports silly and with a grain of salt. But hey, it is what it is. It's something. These reporters are out there. They got to say what they saw. And if you look at the route running and those drills that they showed, he looked like he was pretty quick and his footwork was nice. But again, it's a whole situation. They're football players, training camp and everything. This is why they go and practice to get up to speed. So hopefully when it's a game situation in a couple of months, they don't, suck. And training camp, minicamp, it's the first day of rookie minicamp. I'm just excited that we're here and we're getting closer to the start of the season. The jury's still out on how these players are going to play. We'll see them when they're on the field. We'll see how it is on preseason. But yeah, we got people already drumming it up and saying, "Oh my God, this guy's this and this guy's that." But we'll see how it goes. So, let's take a look. Yeah, and if you really think about it, they're not out there running full steam. They're not in pads, so they're just out there practicing. I again take everything they say with a grain of salt. But hey, rookies are here, and the good news is most of them are signed. Not all of them. They've signed 6 of their 8 actual draft picks. So yesterday, obviously, as you know, they signed Jacob Cowing, Renardo Green, and Isaac Garendo. Those 3 were signed. And today they signed Malik Mustafa, Dominic Pooney, and Tatum Bethune. In addition to those 3 yesterday. And they signed many of their undrafted free agents today. So the list of undrafted free agents was Evan Anderson, Jalen Mahoney, Briason Mays, offensive lineman. Mahoney was a safety. Evan Anderson is a defensive end. They signed quarterback Tanner Mordecai. They signed offensive lineman Drake Nugent. They signed wide receiver Tariq Owens, who was out there today, and there's a lot of content on him out there really trying to make this squad. The son of Terrell Owens. Mason Pline, the tight end from Furman, who Larry Kruger loves. And me and Larry are always weekly doing our shows. He loves Mason Pline. So we'll see. He got signed today. And Cody Schrader, the running back from Missouri, signed today. The cool thing about Cody Schrader, his story is amazing. He was a walk-on in Missouri, and he was a stud at Missouri. Like, this guy was running all over teams, and it wasn't no slouch competition. He played in Missouri. It's a big-time conference, right? So he was a walk-on, became a dog over there. Now he's an undrafted player for the 49ers. If he can ball out and make this roster, man, it'll be damn impressive. So I'm going to keep an eye on this guy, but he did get signed. So again, these are the draft picks signed: Renardo Green, Dominic Pooney, Malik Mustafa, Isaac Garendo, Jacob Cowing, and Tatum Bethune. They haven't signed Ricky Persol yet, and then the offensive lineman out of USC, Jarrett Kingston. So Jarrett Kingston and Ricky Persol have still not signed. Those are the only 2 that are still waiting to finalize their deals. I'm sure it'll come, and it's just a matter of time. These things happen. Nick Bosa took a while to sign his rookie contract. The first-round picks take a little while. Jarrett Kingston, I'm sure, will probably sign maybe tomorrow. I don't know why they didn't sign him yet. He's, a later-round pick. So I'm sure they're working on some languages of the contract. So, but the other token, the undrafted free agents. Again, let me run through these lists and remind you who signed today. So Evan Anderson, defensive lineman, safety Jalen Mahoney, offensive lineman Briason Mays, quarterback Tanner Mordecai, offensive lineman Drake Nugent, wide receiver Tariq Owens, tight end Mason Klein, and running back Cody Schrader. Those all signed today, according to the 49ers. And that's, most of them were out there practicing and doing their thing. So an interesting note also from what Nick Sorenson was saying, we'll go circle back to that, that rookie defensive back, Renardo Green, he's initially going to start at the nickelback position. So remember, we've been talking about Renardo Green. Where is he going to be? Where is his role on this defense? So they said he's going to be nickelback. He's going to play inside until they eventually start working him out and expanding his role to the outside. So this is kind of what I expected. The 49ers, they have Diamond Lenore, who's really nice. They have, Mooney Ward, who's awesome. Those two guys are really good outside combo. They've been lacking a really good nickel cornerback. You remember K'Wan Williams was here a couple years back. He was an outstanding nickel cornerback. And then, he left and they were trying to fill that role. They had Jimmy Ward, who could do everything. And, they were like, can you place the nickel? Although he didn't want to, he was a safety, but then they brought Gibson, who really was better than they thought he was going to be. So Gibson was shining, Hufanga was shining. They still wanted Ward out there because he's one of their better players. So they shifted him to the nickel spot on his contract year, which, big reason why he left. But now they've been searching. Ambry Thomas just couldn't cut it. Womack was hurt, Darrell Luter, so they're gonna put in Renardo Green out there and test him and see how he is at nickel. I like this guy. He's scrappy. He's a dog. If he can become what, K'Wan Williams was, can you imagine Renardo in the slot, Diamond Lenore outside, Mooney Ward outside? It's Clamp City, baby. So I thought that was pretty cool news. I like that. It was nice to hear that. They could train them inside because the Niners like versatile guys. If you play inside and learn how to do that and then get good on the outside, he can be very valuable to this 49ers team in the secondary. So good stuff. Let's see. Take a look at some of these comments here. Rick says, when the season starts, that is going to be a different story. This is the NFL. My man, California Man, says, hopefully Ricky Purcell and Jarrett Kingston will sign soon. Yeah, I'm sure they will. How many did the 49ers sign in the NFL draft for 11 or 10 days? Not quite sure what you mean. I know they had 8 rookies drafted, and I think they had 10 undrafted players, but not all of them have signed. They have 6 of their 8 players that they drafted signed in the actual draft. So my man Peter Parker says, hey, Raj, what's good? Faithful, he says, felt good to take a break for reals. Hey, it is good to take a break. A lot of people love the off season because you get a little break. You get a little release, myself included. Like, I know I do this every day. I post content and, we go live a lot. But during the off season, take a little step back. We're not as busy, because during the season, it's like all day, every day, boom, boom, content. You got to be on top of everything. Plus, if you have a 9-to-5 like me, it gets really hectic, man. So it is nice to have a break. You go on vacation. I got some things planned. I'm going to be going to a couple trips here in the summer. We got Disneyland coming up. We got Universal Studios coming up. I got a trip to Zion planned. I got maybe a trip to Yosemite. I don't know. We'll see. But, we're going to go out. We're going to be outside this summer and enjoying our time and, of course, working. And then as soon as you know it, the season is here. So definitely good to take a break and enjoy yourself, because after that, football season's back, and we ain't going to be going outside on Sundays unless it's to the game. So good stuff. And, again, 49ers, it's getting closer to the nitty-gritty season. So I want to play some videos. We all saw these videos today, of course. Play a couple of the videos we saw today. I'll play a couple of their press conferences from some of the players. We'll talk about them, and we'll call it a day. We'll keep it short and simple and sweet. So let's see some of the cool highlights. So this is Dominic. So offensive lineman getting some work. Dominic Pooney, number 62. Versatile guy. He can play a lot of positions, he says. They're going out there. He's putting in the work. It's interesting to see. Will he be a starter? I don't know. I hope he can be. I really want to see this guy do well, man. I'm excited about this guy. For some reason, I just have a good vibe about him. And let me put a little clip of what he said today in his press conference.
Niners in the Super Bowl this year, and what do you think of Brock Purdy, the guy you'll be now trying to protect?
I love Brock Purdy. The fact that he was the last pick in the draft and then he to where he is now, it's a crazy story. I mean, I don't think you could write that. But it's crazy because when the other two quarterbacks went down in the season, he came in and won that game, and I was like, watch him, like he gonna cook, and then he started cooking. So, but no, I did watch Super Bowl. I was in Frisco, Texas, training, and I was just on Discord with my friends watching it. So, but yeah, I watched it.
I like this guy. He says, I love Brock Purdy. I know he was going to cook, and he cooked. I like this guy, but I like Dominic Cooney. Honestly, the more you see these guys, the more you see them playing, you kind of just see them out there, and you hear them talk, you start to really start becoming a fan of them. That's how it works, and I've so far, I really like his vibe, Every video I've seen, since the draft day, all the highlights of him, when he speaks, he's really enthusiastic. I like this young man. So I like Cooney. And if he loves Brock, then he's going to do his job well. He already knows what his job is. Hey, I'm going to go out there and protect QB1. And I love it. And you know what? When he said that, the first time I heard it, he's like, yo, Brock was good. I knew he was going to cook. And he cooked. I was like, okay, this guy's it. He's the guy. So I like Cooney. I thought that was cool. I'm going to play a couple more clips out there from today. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, there's Tariq Owens, the son of T.O., Terrell Owens. You got to love it, man. He's a Niner legend's son, the bloodline pick. Everybody wanted a bloodline pick, and we have him. That's Tariq Owens. I mean, he's got a long way to go. He's just trying to make a spot. He's just trying to find his way on this team. Maybe practice squad, definitely won't make it to the full roster unless he just shows out. But it's nice to see him out there grinding, putting in the work. No gloves is crazy work, actually. I mean, he's a little slow, but you don't always have to be slow, because look at Juwan Jennings. He wasn't the fastest guy, but sometimes the fastest guy isn't always the dog. Juwan Jennings is scrappy. He's a dog. He's tough. He goes up there and grabs it. He goes out there and blocks. He'll hit you in the mouth and make sure your lip is bloody. So, hey, Tariq Owens still got a long way to go. He's a very raw prospect, but his dad was a legend. I'm sure that he's got a little bit of his dad somewhere in there. If you watch his running, it reminds me of T.O. I was like, okay, he really does look like his dad's son. You could see T.O. in it, like the way he runs, the way he holds his hands. I love it. But no gloves, man. I was like, okay, boy, go out there, do your thing. No gloves. I like that. So that's T.O., his son, Tariq Owens. You got to love to see that. That was cool. Let's take a look what else we got here. Oh, yeah, that's the Ricky Pearsall. Quick off the line. Got some good footwork. Woo! Brakes. Look at the brakes. Boy's a certified route runner. The brakes are nice. I love the shiftiness. I love the speed. I mean, he's young. It's still, nobody's there, no pads. So you can't sit there and say, oh, he's going to be a stud. But I like to see, you love to see content of these players. I like what I saw out of Ricky Pearsall. Footwork. He looked like he was locked in at training camp. Like he just was ready, put his head down and go to work. I'm here, blue collar baller. Let me go out there, show what I could do. You got to love it. You could tell these guys were really excited just to be there. And, I'm sure they were nervous. First day of their new job, first day of the rest of their life, right? Good stuff, man. I like Ricky. And you know what? That number 14, initially I was like, I don't know about 14, but kind of looks pretty dope on it. I like it. I think he's got some aura to him. Definitely needs to put on some weight. The boy's skinny, but I'm skinny. But I don't play football. He needs to put on some weight, because if he takes a hit, it might hurt a little bit in the NFL. But I like what I've seen out of Ricky so far. I like his aura. I like his vibe. I just like the guy. I don't know, man. People are going to hate on the pick, whatever. But I like the pick so far. Let's take a look. I got another video of the wide receivers going out there and doing their thing. Let's play this one. There we go. Yeah, these are the wide receivers lined up. So you got Tay Martin. They had a couple of people trying out today. While wide receiver tryouts out there, of course. Here's Tariq Owens, 84. There we go. There we go. I'm going to get a list of all these receivers because some people thought that Danny Gray was out there, but he's not. So real quick, we'll go through these numbers. So 81 is actually Timothy Patrick. He's a veteran. I think he played for Denver before, and he's out there. Of course, Ricky Pearsall. Then you had Tay Martin was there. He was 86. Then Jacob Cowing was there, 83. So there you go. Wide receivers doing their thing, putting in that work. That's rookie minicamp for you. Let's play that one again. I want to show you guys that one again. I think that was a good one. I'll play it again in case you missed it. So check it out. I was rambling. Here's Cowling. It's so funny. Tariq Owens, when you see him in that 84, sometimes to me it reminded me, I was like, oh, is that Kendrick Bourne? You remember KB? That's what I thought. 86, Tay Martin, guys. People thought it was Danny Gray. Good stuff. Those guys were working, baby. They're out there working. Let's see. AJ says, what do you think about Fox NFL saying it will be Kansas City versus Green Bay Super Bowl? I mean, predictions are predictions. Everybody's got them. I know a lot of people are riding Green Bay this season. Media darlings, I feel like right now, them in Detroit, it's definitely a popular pick. Because Jordan Love, everybody's on the hype train, and they were really good last year, and they came into Levi's and they gave us a fight, just same like Detroit. So I don't hate the prediction. Obviously, I'm a Niner fan. I hope the Niners make Super Bowl, but it's not going to be easy to run it all the way back. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are going to predict Green Bay because they should be getting better. Their quarterback's going to get better. Jordan Love had a really good year last year, first year as a starter. He's been waiting for his moment. Their receivers were young. They're going to be better. They put together a good draft. So, I mean, do I think it's correct? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think the Niners will be able to beat them if they play in the playoffs. But I mean, I feel like it's an appropriate prediction because they should be a really good team this year. It's going to be a dogfight in the NFC. The Niners get to play them in Lambeau. That'll be a big game, So we'll see. Detroit also a big game. Both teams are going to have to try to take down, Detroit. It's going to be a battle. So we'll see. The NFC, man, a lot of teams really improved, and the Niners are going to have a target on their back. As far as Kansas City, I mean, they're the favorite. Until you can take down Mahomes in the playoffs, it's going to be hard to not see them in the Super Bowl. They've improved their roster. They got some improved receivers, although Rashee Rice situation's looking sketchy. He may not be back this year or for a long time, but they added some receivers, Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. So even if they lose Rashee Rice, they added some other guys. So, and Patrick Mahomes is freaking Patrick Mahomes. So we'll definitely see how the rest of this season plays out. So a couple things. I'm going to play some videos from these players during their press conference today, now that we've seen some of their highlights. And, of course, we've seen these all around posted through social media. First one here is Malik Mustafa. I think we played this yesterday with Larry Krueger. But I really like this video. I really just love Malik Mustafa, the way he speaks, the way he kind of conducts himself with the media. And what I've heard today from a lot of people is they say the same thing. They're like, man, this guy is very, very well reserved, very humble guy. He has a good mindset. And you can see why the 49ers drafted him. I'm sure that he wowed John Lynch in his, interviews. So here you go.
Then to what you were thinking now.
Yeah, it was all about, proving myself right and, not worrying about proving other people wrong. You got to, understand who you are as a person, your identity, your purpose, your journey. You get caught up in the noise, the social media era that we're in, get caught up in what other people are doing. You kind of get lost in your own path. And I think the main thing for me was just to stay on course with me, worry about myself, hone in on my craft, and how am I going to be the best Malik Mustafa I can be.
I like it. And then let's take a look. I think we got Renardo Green. Let's take a look at what Renardo had to say.
You watched much of Charvarius Ward and Diamond Lenore?
Yeah, I done seen them guys play. They're good corners. I actually got a teammate, Jerry Jones, and he always talking about Ward. He's always talking about him because I guess they both from Mississippi. And I see that he had a real good season. I believe it's the past season. So yeah, I'm just ready just to pick their brain, just like learn as much as I can from them because they vets and they've been here before me. So
I like Bernardo. He seems like he's just ready to go out there and play and absorb the information from Lenore and Mooney Ward. But I tell you, he looks so young, man. He's 23. Like, I know that's young, but man, he looks like he could be like 18 years old, 17, 18 years. He looks so young, man. Just a young pup. I love it, man. The guy's so young. Got many years ahead of him. So, um, my man AJ says, "You sure Mustafa's not related to Ruben Foster? He looks similar to him." Yeah, Mal, you know what? Maybe, who knows? But Malik Mustafa, so far he is my favorite pick. Um, I don't know him. Bernardo Green was my favorite pick coming out of the draft, but the more I've seen out of Mustafa, the more I hear from him. I'm loving him. From what Larry Kruger was saying today, is he looked really, really good today. That's what I talked to him earlier, and I saw him tweet about it. He said he looked absolutely fantastic today. So I don't know. I like Malik. I love Renardo, and it's cool to see these young DBs going out there and working. They're very humble. So a couple other things. So I got some uh, rookie camp observations. This is via Jennifer Lee Chan on NBC Authentic. So she says that rookie safety Malik Mustafa was very quickly verbal on the field, communicating with the defense during 7-on-7 drills. So yeah, exactly what Larry told me. He says this guy just looked like he was taking charge. He looked like a natural out there. I heard, and then so Jennifer also says Isaac Garendo was not only carrying the ball as a running back, but catching passes, not just screens. So they really want to use this guy and hopefully develop him as a weapon for this offense. She says that Ricky Purcell's route running is smooth, comes out with the breaks and doesn't break stride, and he's got quite a bit of separation. So as we saw, his footwork looked very clean, probably is great in his route running, which we've seen on the film. And she says there was a lot of jersey grabbing by rookie DBs that were penalty worthy. No refs are present. Obviously, it's mini camp. You don't have contact or anything, so you don't have refs. But that was what I noticed and what I heard earlier when we talked about it is a lot of handsy coverage. So yeah, maybe that led to drops or whatever the case is. So it's rookie mini camp. These guys are testing it out. It's their first day at work. It's like orientation. You guys remember when you were in orientation for your job? It sucks. It's just to get acquainted to your new job. So I'll play a couple more clips here from the rookies. This one's from Jacob Cowing. You haven't heard a lot about Jacob Cowing, but I'm really intrigued at this guy. I'm thinking he could be a return man. I know Persall or Cowing could be maybe a return man, but Jacob Cowing, he spoke about, the history of the 49ers and how he said, I know that the 49ers haven't returned a kick for a touchdown for over a decade. I think 2011, Ted Ginn. And he says he wants to be the first guy to do it since then. He wants to do it this year. So let's listen to Cowing.
Describe the mentality or pressure that comes with being a punt returner.
I would say, if you're comfortable, back there, I wouldn't say that you don't have really pressure. I think it's just as you get more and more repetitions at it, the more comfortable that you'll be back there. So then like the pressure of that will kind of weigh off of you. And I think in this moment for me is just continue to get better at that aspect of my game is catching and getting comfortable and just trying to get the ball down the field and trying to go score a touchdown. I heard that over a decade here that it hasn't been accomplished yet. So that's definitely one of my goals this year.
He's ready for the challenge. He wants to return some kicks. I like that. Not a lot of people want to return kicks. He does. I like that. I like the mentality. I like this young man. I like Cowling. I feel like he's just ready to go out there, soak it up, and offer whatever he has to the team. He knows he's probably going to be a starter anytime soon, but hey, he wants to go out there, contribute. If it has to be special teams, Kyle loves that. Kyle loves special teamers. If you can make a name on special teams and you can gain his trust, you're going to go up in that wheelhouse. You're going to go up on his list of players he really respects. You won't be in the doghouse. You'll definitely be on his good list. You won't be on the shit list. So love to hear that he wants to return kicks. So let's see. We got another one from Jacob Cowing here.
Did you know Ricky Pearsall at all prior to this through the Arizona connection?
Yeah, me and him actually, we met each other January this past year. We were training for the Senior Bowl combine prep. And then also, too, like growing up, we played Pop Warner football against each other, too. So I knew who Ricky was growing up as well. And then, kind of just finally meet him as we got older. And now we're here together. Now we're teammates. So it's a full circle moment. So just having fun with it now. And glad to have Ricky, here with me and go out there and ball.
Is a guy like that special even back to Pop Warner? Was he standing out even?
Oh yeah. Ricky's a ball player. He has always had that it factor about him, and I just hope that he continues, to prove that, go out there, work hard, and continue to show what his skill set is.
So Cowing talks about how him and Ricky Persall knew each other from Pee Wee football. Full circle. Now they're on the same NFL pro team. That is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool moment to know that these guys have known each other for a long time. So they're going to be like brothers. They were rookies, now together, right? They're going to be in the same draft class and learning and developing at the same time. So, the 49ers have a pretty good click at wide receiver. Obviously, Debo and Ayuk are very close, and we know they're like a brotherhood. Now you got Persall and Cowing, who are kind of like brothers. So kind of cool to see that. And this wide receiver room is always a vibe. So two more young guys that have good chemistry added to the mix. And speaking of brothers, so Tatum Bethune, linebacker out of Florida State, he spoke with the media as well. We haven't heard a lot about him, but I wanted to play this video because we haven't heard a lot from him. So I played this video for you guys next, but he talks about how him and Ronaldo Green are dogs and friends because they went to Florida State together. So again, more guys that have chemistry on this team. They're going to keep guys close. It's a brotherhood. It's a family. Now you have guys that are very similar together on both sides of the ball, and this is the future of the team. So 49ers really building a tight-knit culture. Let me play this video.
College.
It's crazy because me and Ronaldo Green, we lived in the same complex back in college. His room was right here, and my room was like right across the second building. So we could come outside and see each other anytime we wanted. We leaving for practice, we pull up to the same building. So it's just like that's like a brother to me. I'm glad he's here.
I know you play different positions, but I mean, you're a hard hitter, and it seemed like he really was a scrappy kind of DB in college. Any similarities between the mindset that you guys bring to the field playing football?
Yeah, we all have the same mindset. I think that's what make us so good and just separate us from each other. We all just being able to be on the same page and understand each other and our movements and mannerisms. I could tell Ronaldo's right behind me just because the way he moves or the sounds or just small things like that. So, man, being together is good.
Chemistry. He says he knows when Ronaldo's behind him just because of small little things like the sounds, the movements. That's chemistry. I'm telling you, this team is in good hands. You got to remember, it's not just for this year. The Niners are building a team to continue to be great over the years. They want to have a perennial contender. So let's say you have some players leave down the line, can't pay everybody. Now you can mix these two guys into the lineup, and they'll have a really good chemistry together. That's important. Chemistry is important, right? And that's what's going to happen now. You have two guys that eventually, when they're on the roster together, they're going to have that instinct from playing back in college together. Now they're in the pros together. So another full circle moment. You have Bethune and Ronaldo Green, who were college teammates. They have good connection. They're on the team. They'll have a good connection and chemistry. You had Ricky Persall and Cowing, who were, they played together in Arizona when they were young. They grew up in some of the same circles, and now they're here on the same team. So kind of cool. And also Bethune, if you guys remember a couple of days ago, about a week ago, Cheryl Bosa posted a picture of Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa, her sons, with Bethune back in high school. So there's a lot of chemistry on this team. The Niners keep the circle close and small. I like that. And we could play a couple more videos from these rookies. I think I have one from Isaac Garendo. I like this guy's vibe too. He feels like, one of those underdogs. He's a chip on his shoulder guy. He didn't start a lot in college. He doesn't have a lot of, miles on his legs, which is good. You don't want to have a lot of miles on your legs as a running back coming in, and especially in Kyle's system. He's got fresh legs. He's a dog. I heard he's really fast. Got to work on some things. Of course, he's raw talent, but Kyle wouldn't trade 2 fifth-round picks for a running back if he didn't like him. Maybe he would, because he did draft some third-round running backs. But that's the key. It's a fourth-round running back, not a third-round running back. But let me play the video of Isaac Garendo.
How many games did you start in college?
1.
How do you explain that? Like, is that kind of what you're talking about there?
Yeah, I think it's a similar thing, but you know I've played with a lot of great backs, been in a lot of great rooms, so I mean I think that's it itself. But you know I think at the same time you know going to this level, you know making this transition, I think is something that helps me because you know a lot of these guys have been the feature guy. You know, pretty much since they were young, they were, you know, the guy at their high schools and they were the guy at their colleges. But you know, I think for me, it's you know, it kind of gives me a leg up in the sense that you know, what are these guys going to do when they aren't the starter? You know, how are they going to handle that? How are they going to move forward with that? And you know, given the fact that I've already been through it like plenty of times, like obviously it's not going to change my mindset. I'm going to continue to work hard with whatever it is, but just continuing to embrace that role.
Did it ever bother you that you weren't a starter?
Obviously, it's frustrating. You know, you want to contribute and play as much as possible, but I think if I were to let it bother me, it probably wouldn't allow me to be ready for those moments when I did get them. So, you know, I just continued to have that patient mindset so that I could be ready for those moments.
Patient mindset. He knows his opportunity will come eventually. He's been through the mud. He's had adversity. He's had to wait, and he's okay with it. And he's going to be ready when the time comes. I love it. Chip on his shoulder. He's got a bag of chips, a bag of Doritos. So I like that. I like that mindset. All these rookies are very well spoken. I mean, what you can note, what I've noticed from all these young guys that they've drafted, they all have a good head on their shoulder. And that's what the Niners like. They don't want guys that are outlandish, and you know, I'm sure there'll be some things that happen here and there. You know, we all know Debo. He likes to talk to the media and you know talk his trash, but that's a different story. It's not like he's a bad person or a bad character because in the past the 49ers did get bad character guys. Reuben Foster, right? And there was a couple other ones. And you know, unfortunately, Alvin Smith, he went down the wrong path. But the 49ers have really put an emphasis on getting really good character individuals. You know, well-spoken young men. They have a good head on their shoulders. They're ready to work. They're ready to go out there and just be a Niner and make us proud. And I think that's what this draft class is all about: is these young men that are hard workers, very dedicated to the craft, and they want to make us proud as fans. You know, wherever they get drafted, they were going to be humble and ready to prove themselves. And luckily, they landed for the 49ers, and I'm excited to see them roll. So pretty cool to see the rookies out there. It's exciting times. It was great for me because I get to post content. You know, I love it, and I got to be really unproductive at work. I love being unproductive at work because lately I've been grinding. I've been working. I've been getting too many compliments. I don't like it when I get people, "Oh, you're such a good therapist." This, I don't need it. I like to be. No, I'm kidding. I like to be a little out of the fire and posting my content at work. And you know, it is what it is. I'm joking. I'm a good I'm a good employee. But when it's football season, not gonna lie to you, sometimes it's hard to get work done. And I know my boss isn't always too happy about it. But hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. I love this team, and you know, I love providing the content. But it was nice today to have a little time and just sit there and see all the stuff, get all the content, and post all the content, and you know, being active on social media. So it's fun. But hey, it's the off season. It's not like it's going to be there every day. Tomorrow there is a rookie practice mini camp, but there's no media access, so who knows if we'll get anything. Maybe the official 49ers will post some stuff. Usually they like to post some things here and there, and we can kind of see what they have to offer. But after tomorrow, it's a little bit of a break. Next weekend, though, next Thursday, I believe, is the NFL Rookie Premiere, the Panini Rookie Premiere. Ricky Pearsall was invited, so we'll have some cool content of Ricky Pearsall at the Rookie Premiere and everything like that. So we'll see that, and let me take a look at the dates. I know there's a couple other things coming up. Let me find it real quick, and then we'll give you the update on what to expect, and then we'll take a few questions and try to call it a day. Let me find the. I know I have it somewhere. I know I posted it a while back. Sorry, bear with me. Give me a second. Can't remember the exact date, so let me find it. Where are they? I know it's in the middle of May is when the next set of involuntary minicamp, I believe. OTAs. Let me get the exact date. Give me a second. I can't find it. I know. Oh, there it is. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so the off-season workout OTA dates were announced. This was back in March. Okay, yeah. So the rookie minicamp, obviously, tomorrow's the last day. OTAs start May 20th. So we have May 20th. That's when OTAs start. So May 20th through 21st, May 23rd, and then May 28th through 29th, and May 31st. And then mandatory minicamp is June 4th through 6th. And then they're off until the end of July when training camp starts. So May 20th, ladies and gentlemen, that is when the players are at OTAs, not just the rookies. And we'll see if Brandon Ayuk shows up. That'll be interesting to see. And on Wednesday, guys, this coming Wednesday, the NFL schedule is released. So Wednesday, we'll have the schedule coming, and I'm sure we'll all be hyped up. We'll be talking about it. I made sure that I have no home health patients as of right now, so I can leave work, get my daughter from school, get my ass home, and we can sit here all night talking about the schedule. So I'm hyped up for Wednesday. You guys have a blessed weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful, amazing mothers out there. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next. I think my next day I'll be live will be Monday with my boy Ted, 1:30 p.m. If there's any news, we'll talk to you about it on Monday, but I don't think we'll have too much news. My guess is we'll probably sign Jarrett Kingston, USC offensive lineman, tomorrow, maybe. If not, is he going to hold out? Is the sixth round pick going to hold out on us? Probably not. But yeah, probably won't be too much news this weekend, but we'll recap everything. I'll get to talk to Ted and see what his thoughts are on the rookie minicamp this week. And we'll see you guys Monday. You guys have a good rest of your week. Love ya. Bang, bang. Not again.